Treat a car like you treat a woman.
Go on.
No.
At the restaurant when I was still the one you want.
Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Test of my patience. There's things that we'll never know.
I love the way it feels to be a hater. Something so sweet about.
Consider the coconuts, the trunks and the leaves. The island gives us what we need. That's right, we stay. We're safe and we're well provided. And when we look to the future, there you are.
I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
The word I'm searching for, I can't say because there's preschool toys present.
As a trans lesbian, I'm done arguing with lesbian TERFs. I'm just gonna ask them one simple question. Do you have a girlfriend? So far, none of them seem to have girlfriends, which is a mystery to me because I don't... Don't you love women? Could it be that because you are so bitter and obsessed with your hatred of a very small minority of human beings, that it's not attractive to other lesbians? Could it also be that most lesbians disagree with you? I don't know. I'm done arguing with y'all. I'm just gonna start asking, do you have a girlfriend? Because if you don't have a girlfriend and I have a girlfriend, I'm doing lesbianism better than you. And that's funny.
I pay attention to things that most people ignore.
That's a shark, baby. I know. I've seen Jaws at least 6 times. That's a shark.
Well, not so fast.
Huh?
Don't jump to conclusions.
I'm jumping. I've jumped. I've landed. Shark. It's a shark.
Just keep in mind things may not be what they appear.
Huh?
It's always one step forward and 3 steps back.
We're on take 6 because I've cried every time. So we're gonna try doing this without crying. This season was rough because I grew up with my own Ben Hope, and he was one of my best friends. We met when we were kids through church, and we've been friends for like 15 years, something like that. Something absurd like that. And I'm gonna start by saying that you do not owe forgiveness or your time to people that have hurt you at all. I think that the way that Charlie handled it was extremely mature and extremely strong of him to do. But I'm not here to talk about that part. I'm here to talk about the people that I keep seeing talking about Ben Hope. Because it is one thing to say that you hate Ben Hope as a character, that you don't like him. But one of the things about Heartstopper that makes it so good is that it really shows the queer experience. And a lot of queer people can see themselves represented in this show. But one of the things that people just, I don't think, seem to realize is that one of the queer experiences that it portrays is Ben Hope's. And that is a real queer experience. And for me, growing up with my friend, I was on the inside of that experience, and I was given the view that we weren't given in Heartstopper of what that experience really is like. And let me tell you, it's really ugly. It's really, really bad. Because the level of internalized homophobia and self-hatred that comes with that is insane. And I witnessed that as a kid. And this is not to say that Ben Hope didn't do awful things, because he did. And I'm gonna be honest, my Ben Hope did too. And I have yelled at him when we were kids enough for it. But Ben Hope as a character isn't real. You know, the moment that he is no longer on our screens or in our books, he ceases to exist. But the kids that watch Heartstopper and see themselves in Ben Hope are very real. And before you tell me that those kids don't watch Heartstopper, they do. They absolutely do. I assure you they're watching it, and they're watching it probably in the middle of the night, probably using something like a third-party site or TikTok or something where they're not going to be able to track what you've seen. They're going to delete their history. These kids are really struggling. It is not my place to tell you the details of my friend's story, so I'm going to tell you my story. And my story is that I watched somebody who I love dearly from the ages of like 14 to 20 self-destruct because the amount of self-hatred and internalized homophobia he had was so overwhelming. And that's why I tell you as an adult, these kids are the ones that don't make it. So when I see people talking about how Ben Hope is irredeemable and how he doesn't even deserve a redemption arc, there is no way for him to become a better person. He will always be this shit person, like all this stuff. He will never see it. He's not real. He'll never see it. But you know who will see it? Those kids. And yeah, just like Ben Hope, those kids do some really awful things sometimes. And they deserve to be held accountable for that. But they're also kids. Maybe you weren't evil. Maybe you were just 15. I'm not saying you have to like Ben Hope. I'm not even saying you have to want him to have a redemption arc. He doesn't exist. I'm just saying, please remember that there are kids like that. And if you could give them a little patience and a little kindness, it goes a long way. My friend has worked through a lot of stuff and come a long way, and I take no credit for any of it. He is an amazing person now, and he is a passionate supporter of the LGBT community. And I just hope that for every person that sees themselves in Ben Hope. Because that shit hurts. And I wasn't even the one that went through it. So just, fuck. I'm not doing a 7th take. I'm not doing it. Just remember, Ben will never see that. But the kids that see themselves in him will. And there's a real risk they may not make it. So a little kindness and a little patience goes a long way.
Is this not Freddy Fazbear? I thought Freddy Fazbear was scary. This is not scary. That's a homosexual.
Hey, so I think I might be bisexual.
Oh my god, babe, same.
So I've really been thinking about my sexuality lately.
Oh, did you have a mermaid phase when you were a kid?
Yes.
Oh, you're bisexual.
Hey, so I've been talking to my boyfriend recently about this crush I've had on this girl. Well, I'm a bit confused. What does that mean?
Well, you know, sometimes it's about the wine, not the label.
Treat a car like you treat a woman.
Go on.
No.
And it goes like this. We get in your car and you need to kiss me. We'll talk for hours and lie on the backseat. And the moonlight.
Just a reminder that if you finish the new season of Heartstopper too quickly, you could always pick up my book, This Is Why They Hate Us, to watch this bi kid fall in love with his best friend.
You know what's funny? I knew I was trans, like, the same way I knew I was gay. It was just this subconscious thing. I never had, like, an awakening moment. I just looked in a mirror one day and I said, man, I would make such an ugly girl. Thank God I'm not. Like, now, obviously, all this was internalized because I have transphobic parents, but I just thought everyone didn't want boobs. I thought that was normal.
Let me tell you. Girl,
my little boo thing. So I'll give a hoot what you do, say, girl, I know.
Oh.